Hello again, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Game Pass Grab Bag, your weekly podcast reviewing games for the Game Pass collection. Bring you three new perspectives from varying skill range. I am the cassette DJ of this episode, Andrew. With me are Poser, Keith.
Hello.
And with us, the little sibling that your parents forced you to take along with you to the concert, Liz.
Hey, guys.
This week was a listener request, so thank you so much, Steven, that recommended that we played Cassette Beasts by Bytten Studio. Cassette Beast is a top-down action-adventure RPG where you are a character that you create that gets thrusted into a world that's, you have no idea how you got there. All you know is that you're trying to figure a way to get out. And you're washed up upon the shore with a bunch of other people that have been living in this world for years that all say that you're stuck in this world. But you are determined to find a way out. Going around, before we start, I actually wanted to let our listeners get a bit of a backstory. So Cassette Beast is essentially a Pokemon clone. So I wanted to ask you guys, what is your experience with Pokemon? Keith?
I mean, it's been many, many moons since I've played a true Pokemon game. I think my first one was Yellow on my Game Boy Color. That was awesome. And then I had either Diamond or Pearl, maybe both. I've played it a lot through the years. While I've not kept up with it by any means, I love Pokemon. I love the game style. I think it's fantastic. Like I grew up with it, but it's one of those things that I've always said that it is a children's game that is for literally everyone. So I think it's awesome.
Cool. What about you, Liz? What's your experience with Pokemon?
With Pokemon? Pokemon Go.
That's it?
I think I had a card or two, and then I watched the TV show, and that's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
The show is awesome.
Yeah.
It is. That's honestly.
I have not kept up with that either. I thought that the show ended, like it blew my mind when I was seeing all the stuff about the show ending, and I was like, wait, what? Because in my mind, the show ended when I stopped watching it, I don't know, 20 years ago.
Well, the show's like ending with Ash. I think it's still going.
Well, yeah,
Ash.
It's a whole, yeah, it's going to be a whole different storyline.
Yeah.
But the Ash, the fact that the Ash storyline was still going really blew my mind. So that shows you how much I've actually kept up with the story, despite my love of it in general.
Like, to get with the TV show, well, I guess for real quick for me, I played a lot of Pokemon Red and Blue. They were the only Pokemon games I actually beat. But I have dabbled through many different Pokemons. Like, I currently have Pokemon Shield that I'm still working through. But I love Pokemon. I grew up on it. I'm a big fan of the TV shows. Even some of the movies were pretty good. But it's kind of funny playing this game. It's called, obviously, Cassette Beast. So music's a big component to this game. But it just made me think about the Pokemon show. And I'm like, man, that was like peak TV. Because that intro song is the best. And then at the end, they always did the Pokemon rap. As a kid, oh my gosh, that was so good. That was like peak TV at that time. 'Cause even at that time, too, it was like when Ninja Turtles were super popular. And we can never get that time back. But yeah, so I've been a big Pokemon fan. Enjoyed it. But with that being said now, getting into Cassette Beast, Gamer Pass. For me, I'm going to give Cassette Beast a game. It took me a little bit of time to warm up to it. Because the big difference between kind of Cassette Beast and Pokemon is Cassette Beast is way more open world. The game kind of throws you in, and it's just, you're not really given much direction. So that kind of threw me off at first. Once I kind of started figuring out the map and where to go, the game started to click with me. I kind of missed the linear aspect that Pokemon kind of is of, you know, you're kind of just going down these paths, you're going in the woods, and it's kind of a narrow path, and you kind of know what you're doing. So it took a little bit for me to warm up to Cassette Beast, but once that tape started rolling, I didn't want to stop the music. Yeah, how about that reference? You like that? No? Okay.
No.
You can go, Keith.
So it is a game, and there's weird things about it where maybe it could be a product of our kind of cramped gameplay style. Partially Diablo could be an issue, but there was points where I don't know. I found I wasn't really having fun playing it, but I really enjoyed it at the same time. It's a very weird thing where I loved so much of the aesthetic of it. I love the concept of it. There's so many things it does really cool.
Yeah.
But it's just I was like bored when I was playing it. So I don't, but it is a game. But it's like a weird feeling I have about it at the same time.
Yeah.
See, I hate that. I feel like this year I've been giving so many passes, but I think the main thing for me, the reason why I'm going to give it a pass is because of the combat. And I felt like what you were saying, Keith, that's how I felt during all of the battles. Like, I thought that the story was interesting and the map, and there are a lot of things I liked about the game. And I like turn-based combat, but I just...
Turn-based RPG?
Yeah. But I just, for some reason, I could not get into it. And I eventually ended up lowering the difficulty just to try to make it go by faster. But I don't know what it was about the specific combat that I just found very boring.
All right. So, as I said, getting into the story, for me, this is the big thing that I really enjoyed about Cassette Beasts. I think its story is actually really cool. So, as I said, you create this character, and you're just given this quick cutscene of your character kind of going through this time warp, and you wake up on the beach. You kind of stumble around until you get attacked by a Cassette Beast. Somebody comes to your rescue, and boom, you instantly start combat. You come to learn that you are in essentially a different world that is inhabited by a bunch of other kind of lost people that have washed up on shore. But you also kind of learn that this is also a multi-dimensional kind of world because you are meeting people who are on another Earth that talk about things that have not ever happened to you. So they talk about different wars. They talk about some animal uprisings that happened. And you kind of get these different pieces and stories of other people that all across the multiverse, people have washed up in this strange place. But everyone at least agrees that there's no way out of here. But you are finding a way to get out of there.
Well,
what did you guys think of the story?
Well, so I'm just gonna say it. This is purgatory, right? Like, we haven't done this in a long, long time. If you got to the end of the game and you know differently, fine. But this is purgatory, right? Like,
that was one of my theories. I'm like, I think this is just purgatory. I think you just dead.
I actually looked up the ending because it's me.
Okay, and so it's not purgatory, but it seems like it should be purgatory.
I didn't say. But I also, I'm not particularly happy with the ending, but I also understand it. But yeah.
But I remember when we were playing this week, Liz, you were with me and you said you loved the story. So what, now your tune changes because you know the ending?
No, it's because I mean,
you like that music reference? I'm going to keep throwing music references.
I feel like I'm not paying attention because you're like, did you get the reference? And I'm like,
I said you changed your tune.
Oh, I see what you did there.
It doesn't work when I have to explain the joke.
What I like with this game, this story, is the people that you meet along the way. I didn't get as far as I wish that I had because, like I said, I didn't really enjoy it that much. But you're meeting the rangers, and there's like that gym, and you're building relationships with people. And so my favorite parts were going around and doing all that. Like, so for instance, like if your cassettes need to be repaired, you go to the cafe and you can, chat with the person and stuff like that. So for me, I really liked the story, and I also just thought it was really interesting.
Yeah.
And I also like I wanted more though. So someone asked, like you had mentioned, like the animal uprising or whatever, something about like Day of the Birds or something. Yeah. And I was like, I need more information, which I didn't get. I don't know if you eventually do, but I wanted more. Yeah,
when I was playing this, I'm like, this is absolutely perfect for a TV show. Not just the fact that we just talked about the Pokemon TV show, but like usually when it comes to the Pokemon stories, I know obviously they've gotten more complex, but at the end of the day, it's usually just like, hey, you try to become the Pokemon master and do a thing. But Team Rocket, or the whatever version of Team Rocket in Pokemon is, their story is obviously way more different that you're kind of figuring out. But with like Cassette Beast, I love the fact that it was like this multi-dimensional world, and you're just getting a hodgepodge of different people from these different universes, and they're talking about these different things. I'm like, this would be a very cool children's show. Not only that, I feel like just the idea of you transforming into these beasts to do battle is just perfect for a TV show. I think this game, I think they really need to come up with a TV show for this game.
I was just going to say, I think that it must have been planned somehow though, because I mean, you have a doctor, you have a builder, like you have all the different people that you would need for a community.
Well, not necessarily. A lot of the people say, I wasn't a doctor before. But they're like, it's something I was always interested in, so they kind of took it upon themselves and learned.
But, I mean, like, so there's at least one guy that was there his whole life, right? Like, I think so, yeah.
There's been people who've been born there, yeah.
But, I mean, like, you're building houses. Like, the houses have been built and stuff. You know what I mean? Like if you just picked like say 10 random people to go to another world, I feel like it wouldn't be where they are now. Like I'm just saying, like I don't know how they're all there or whatever, but it just like you obviously have someone who's good with science, you have someone who's good with building, and then there's also a cult, right?
Yep.
There's like lots of different people, and they all know the same language. I'm just saying.
Well, so are you just avoiding spoilers because you looked up the ending, so you should know if this is a planned situation.
I don't know.
And I'm not even trying to. Like, I'm actually confused.
No, I'm sorry. So I know, like, I guess I didn't go too much into the ending because now I'm thinking all these things. I didn't read anything about, like, how they got there. So I guess maybe I don't know the full story. I just know.
Well, so that, okay. So, well, and this is where, because I'm like, what you're saying kind of makes sense with how far I have gotten. So I don't know, would I be spoiling talking about, like, the Merlin people or the mer things or whatever?
No. There's mermaids?
Well, so you have this underground yeah, but they're not. I don't know if they're mermaids or not, but there's a prefix of mer in front of their name. Yeah, well, at least about where I'm at, you're fighting these bosses called archangels along the way, and there's this underground train station, and you run into this like friendly cassette beast who's not even a person; he's just a beast, I think, and. Yeah. And he talks to you and he explains this whole concept of not only are people arriving just showing up on the beach falling from the sky, they're coming in on trains. So like they're being transported there very intentionally. So I think you're right, Liz, that there is some intention behind it, at least based on that concept. Because and he knew you and whoever your partner was, because I think it's whoever you have with you at the time that he just addresses you by name, or it addresses you by name. It's a little monster. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, see, I didn't get that far. I was just thinking about that, how it just like whenever there's, you know, like I didn't watch all of Lost, but you know, it's like of course there's a doctor here. That's
spoiler, Keith.
But that's
I still haven't even finished the show. I think I watched after season 3.
But that's something I'm always like, I mean, like if I'm in like either something like this or post-apocalyptic, like I just want to meet up, like become friends with a doctor. And there's always like
this is the first. I would be friends with like a farmer or a hunter first.
That too, but like there's also usually a pregnant person in these movies. I mean,
is
this
actually
game,
very true. That's a very typical trope.
I didn't run across any pregnant people in the game.
I mean,
but usually there's a pregnant person.
I went a solid 10 years without seeing a doctor. I'm going to go ahead and say that doctor is not my priority to find. I'm going to find someone who can get me some food.
Hold on, is that true? Did you actually not go to a doctor for about 10 years?
10 years might be a stretch. I would say at least a solid 5.
I mean, I'm getting that close for a dentist.
Oh, I was that close on a dentist for a while. I did do that.
I'm bad about going to the doctor for like a physical, but like if something goes wrong, it's like, oh crap, I have to find one of those doctors.
People. I suppose I've had a few like one-off things like that where I think I went at least a solid like 5 years without a physical. So like I don't know, unless something bad happens, I'm not looking for a doctor first. I'm looking for someone who can feed me.
That's true. But I mean, like you have a couple years to like, I mean, a situation like this, there obviously probably aren't like, you know, grocery stores and stuff, but end of the world stuff, you have grocery stores for a little while.
Well, they keep saying like, as people keep washing up on shore, like random stuff and buildings will wash up on shore. So if at one point you go to a mall that they said like literally just like appeared one day, and that's where the cassettes come from. So like there are supplies that are appearing on this island as well.
Neat.
But yeah, like just like talking about the story, like it's really intricate. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's still obviously very much kind of like Pokemon. You still are training and trying to fight these kind of gym leaders. They're ranger captains instead, but you have a punch card that you're trying to fill out. But that's not like the main goal of the story. The main goal of the story is for you to try to find a way out of this world, which I thought was a nice, unique twist. So you are still seeing a lot of pieces that are familiar to you from Pokemon, but I didn't feel like it was like just copy and paste of, hey, you're a young boy and it's coming of age and you want to travel the world and capture all the Pokemon. Like, no, your goal is just, I want to get out of here.
Well, no, because
I also like...
It does a really cool... It only gives you the 2 options, but when you start, instead of being like, here's your 3 starters, it goes, are you this, or what is it, sweet or...
Are you cute cute or scary were the two choices you had.
Yeah, and like based on that, that's how it picks your first monster or beast. So I don't know. That was kind of a unique little twist on that.
We all picked the same one too.
I know.
All spooky.
Yeah, we all picked spooky.
When did you evolve it, and what did you choose for the evolution?
Which I didn't realize you were choosing, so I kind of picked something random. I can't remember which one I did, but it turned into a like ghost ram.
I think you did the same one I did. You probably had it not ascend or whatever because you thought like you were killing it or not killing it.
Oh,
Yeah.
I think I ascended. I didn't do the earth one.
What'd you get then?
I got the
I don't
wind one.
remember.
Mine was wind.
Oh, mine was ground. So maybe you picked
so we
some-
did do different. Yeah, mine was wind.
Yeah, mine went to or maybe it stayed as wind, but then it went to because then it turned into like a giant hulking beast thing.
Oh yeah, yours is different because mine eventually turned into. I can't remember the name of them. I actually really enjoyed the names of the beast in this game. I thought they were very clever, and I thought the designs
Lobstacle.
were very clever. Yeah, traffic crab.
Velocirifle.
Yeah, Velocirifle. I like that one.
I like the humor in general. I also like I originally thought that they were vampires. They made them think
Yeah.
that was really funny.
The
The
HOA
Team Rocket
people?
type, the Team Rocket type people in this game are just like greedy land grubbers that are land stealers that are just trying to commercialize everything and become like an HOA.
But they made them look undead.
Yeah.
So, and you're like, oh yeah, these are the bad guys, and you're like, oh.
And the person talks, your friend talks about how they suck the life out of you because you're going to just like timeshare meetings.
Well, they made a joke too about like not inviting them in your house. He's like, that's what they want. They want you to invite them inside. So yeah, they like really build up this whole vampire thing, and they do it in a pretty quick fashion because I think it's pretty early that they tell you, but they do like. I was dead convinced that they were vampires too, Liz.
Me too. And actually, like that's what I really loved. Just like, oh man, that game actually really got me.
And it's also realistic too that not everybody's getting along.
Yeah.
Like the cultists don't like you. You don't like the vampires, or I mean, that's what I'm just going to call them from now on. But I feel like everyone in the town gets along so far that I've seen.
Yeah.
And but yeah, I always just think like if I was in that situation, like it would just,
Did
you had
say
that
you would just,
one
like,
bad
roll over
neighbor.
and die?
What?
I thought you said that before. Where you're like, if I'd be in this situation, I'd just give up.
Like, I don't know. I'd be done.
I don't think so.
Liz would just hoard a bunch of stuff, so when she dies, she can give it to somebody.
Because she would just intentionally give up. She just hoard as much as she can. Like, all right, guys, I'm done.
Somebody's gonna have a good time looting me.
Oh, I know. I get what you're saying.
Yeah, you said that in a previous episode.
But I feel like we always have the worst luck with neighbors. I feel like I should wash up on that island and just have like the worst neighbor, and just be stuck there until I died.
You're in a completely new world where everything's open and you get stuck and you're like, this neighbor.
I don't want to build a house.
Oh my gosh. But as we said with the gameplay, it's very reminiscent of Pokemon, which I also got to point out. I feel like I am surprised that there's some like subshits of genre of games that there's not more of. Like, I feel like a lot of people have not capitalized on the creature capture kind of gameplay. Like, I've played a couple kind of Pokemon clone games.
Not Monster Hunter. What was the one we played?
Oh, Monster Sanctuary?
Yep.
Yeah, that was one. Like, I don't know if you remember back in PlayStation 2, a little bit after you gave it to me, it was called like Jade Cocoon.
I remember. I don't.
That one
know
was
if I
actually pretty
played it,
cool.
but I remember it.
But yeah, there's generally not a lot. Like, I feel like monster capture games aren't a huge genre. I feel like 2D brawler games aren't very popular. Like a lot of games have not captured Super Smash Brothers. Just recently, we finally got some with the Warner Brothers Brawl game and then Brawlhalla.
I feel like there was like 10 of those that came out within a 2-year span. They like oversaturated that market real quick. But
I can't think of any though. If they did.
there was the Warner Brothers one. Oh, crap! Now you're putting me on the spot.
I know. And then same with like party games, like Mario Party. Like there used to be Fusion Frenzy for Xbox, but
yeah,
like that's another type of genre of a game that it's like, why do people not make more of these? But anyway, so it's the gameplay of Cassette Beasts is very typical of that. You're going around, you capture monsters. The difference with Pokemon in this is you yourself are transforming into these beasts that you capture. Well, record. You don't actually capture them. You record their essence on a cassette tape and play the cassette tape and you transform into them. But typical Pokemon fashion, it's turn-based. You pick your abilities. There's disadvantages and advantages to different types of elements, different types of attacks. You have your passive abilities. The big difference, though, what I liked about Cassette Beasts is, as I said, you transform into the monsters yourself. So your person actually has their own health bar. So if your beast form gets knocked out, you have a moment of vulnerability where you turn into your normal person. And if enough damage is done to you, you could get wiped out before you can even play another beast from your party. And also vice versa to the enemy. You can actually do so much damage to the enemy that you knock them out and just end the battle early by just hitting them with a really strong hit, which I thought was a nice twist. I also liked that in Pokemon, you only have about 4 moves you can play. In this, you have like 10? You have like a pretty significant list, and you can... Swapping out the abilities was very seamless and easy. It's done by stickers. You literally are putting stickers on the cassette that give the creature different abilities and stuff like that. And you can also peel stickers off to get rid of the ability. But I thought there was quite a bit of different variations with like the attacks.
See, I didn't do a lot of swapping out of the stickers, and so I guess maybe that's, why I didn't like the gameplay as much. Because I'm thinking
You
like
just did the same move over and over and over again?
not the same move, but I kind of went with it. But you also switch, beasts when you want to.
Yeah.
So for me, like I still was using different moves. So I guess, I just, But I wanted to ask, so if you flee, which I didn't do, but I wanted to see, like, I tried to escape at one point, and it said that you would lose items. So I was like, no, I'll just do it. I just didn't want to do the battle, to be honest. Like, I wasn't, like, going to die or anything. But if you get knocked out, do you lose items?
Yes.
Oh, okay, that didn't happen to me. I played on easier difficulty, which I like that they had the dumber.
Yeah, this game once again has really great accessibility options. You have,
but it's also insulting if you go too easy.
Which I thought they were pretty funny. You have 2 kind of options of how do you want the AI to play? Do you want them to be? Literally, the options were dumb, dumber, and dumberer. To how you want the AI, or do you want the AI to be smart, very smart, or practically Skynet? So, like, it actually adjusts the combat for the AI in the gameplay. And then also, too, how the RPG element works is the game scales. So, as I said, the map is kind of more open world and not as linear as Pokemon. So, you can kind of... You need some abilities to kind of get to some other parts of the island, but there's a significant amount of the island you can explore just on your own. So instead of like you by actually wandering an area and you're fighting level 50 monsters and you're level 10, there is scaling. And so you can adjust the scaling. Do you want the enemies to be similar to your level? Do you want them to be easier? So easy that it's boring? Or do you want to make it so hard that it's like an impossible grind? Which I thought was a nice twist.
I mean, I honestly ended up keeping it on default, and I kind of like Liz.
I lowered the scaling was the only thing I did.
I didn't even do that because I found for the most part is that if I was fighting wild monsters, the level didn't matter as much. And it was very weird, and this is where I don't know, it wasn't inconsistent enough that I was like, oh, this is terrible gameplay, but it was a weird thing that I would run into 215s and I would one-shot them, and then the very next time I would run into 14s, and it would take me like 2 turns, 3 turns. Like, it wasn't a difficult battle, but it had to actually battle it. So I'm like, why would I fight something a lower level and it's harder than it was, and not even like different monsters, like similar, like in types. It's just it was really weird in that aspect, and that's where I kind of thought it was the one thing that lacked for me was a little bit of the battling. But yeah, like, it just, in some ways, I don't know, I found that I got a little bit stale with the battling. And I think, like Liz, I probably did the same thing where, well, I know I didn't swap out any of my stickers, but I don't think that changing out the stickers would have been enough for me to be like, wow, this is so much more entertaining. I think I would have seen some different animations, and it would have been more interesting in that aspect. But overall, I didn't find that as interesting as, unlike, say, Pokemon, which has, well, I think they probably have more now, but like, I don't know, like 5 elements or whatever.
Oh, yeah, Pokemon's up to like 15 now or something like crazy.
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
All right. Well, so I don't know. I liked the concept of how they did them, and like the coatings you could put on different like allies or enemies and things like that. I thought that was like one of the really interesting twists to the battle that I did really enjoy about Cassette Beasts.
Like, so when it comes to the elemental types in Cassette Beasts, it actually kind of irritated me because a lot of times, like I am up to, I think 11 hours of gameplay and I still don't quite know advantages and disadvantages. It had some unique gameplay elements to it. So you have your basics, you have fire, earth, wind, lightning, but then you get into weird things such as poison, plastic, metal, galactic, glass. Like it starts to get to kind of these weird elements. And so like the things of what's a advantage and disadvantage just always kind of confused me. At least what made it nice is if you know have a wind creature that you're battling and you pick a wind ability and you put your cursor over it, it would tell you like, oh, you know, this will be an advantage, or like, oh no, this will be a disadvantage. And usually what an advantage or disadvantage in this game does is actually will either give the creature a buff or a debuff. So it's not, it will do a little extra damage, but like in Pokemon, it was always like a guaranteed crit, or like it does like double damage if you do, you know, if you use an advantage type. But in this, it's like, oh, if you are fire and you are attacking, I don't even think plant. No, I think it was like, it was actually good against
nature.
Water. Or
I think it was
something
nature
like that.
is what they called it, or
but
something.
it would make the enemy creatures defense drop. So it actually added like a debuff on the enemy and like vice versa. And one thing that is kind of cool though is, so if you use fire on plastic, it actually will change that plastic monster and melt the plastic, and now it becomes poisonous. So it has like these weird different type of gameplay elements. So you can use that to your advantage of if you have a fire and your other monster you have is a plastic, you could actually do a fire thing to that monster, make your own monster poisonous to kind of change the gameplay. So there's like these unique things you could do. But majority of the time when you're just fighting basic trash monsters, like the battles are super quick. You're not really doing these intricate moves. But I thought the boss battles were actually way more fun. Because like once it actually got into a larger, bigger battle, it really had me like I enjoyed actually the gameplay of like trying to figure out pros and cons and stuff like that.
Well, did you find the guide for it?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, I was gonna say there
Still
is the
didn't
card,
help
and well, what I found is it's like it was done kind of weird with like the attacker defender. Once I kind of pieced it together, what it was saying is you had like the green and the red; those are like buff debuffs, and then you had the yellow, which was a neutral. And I think that's what you would find with. Like, I'm trying to think which. There was one where it would like change them, but it didn't really. Like kind of like the fire or plastic one, like you would burn them, they would turn to poison, but it wouldn't change anything. It would just change their coating, and they'd become poison.
Yeah.
But I do agree as far, and that was I think kind of again one of the bummers is when you're running around fighting little trash mobs. None of that fun aspect is really important. I thought for the most part they were fairly intuitive, and that's why I didn't mind how many there was or whatever. But yeah, there was definitely a couple like I always would forget, like is wind good against electric, or is electric good against wind? And I don't know, sometimes I just wing it.
I always forgot the hints, like, and they do pop up and they are helpful, but then you know, like 5 enemies later I'm like, I don't remember, and I don't really care to figure it out.
Yeah, it felt like that should have been like one of the accessibility options. Would be like what you were saying, Andrew. It's like when you mouse over go over the item, the move, it would tell you like what it's going to do as far as buffs and debuffs to the enemy and whatnot.
Yeah, but also too in this game you also have an element of fusing your Cassette Beast. So whenever you're traveling the world, you always have a friend with you, and you're supposed to build a relationship with that friend. And once you at least have one heart level with them, your hearts can fuse together, and your beast will fuse together into a larger creature. But I actually really enjoyed the fusion aspect. It actually made like some really kind of cool creatures, because you know there's 120 or 121 Cassette Beasts. So you literally have just I think it was said 144,000 options for fusion of like combining the creatures into like a bigger form that gave them new abilities and stronger like skills. But I actually enjoyed that aspect. You only really kind of did it during boss fights. So I kind of wish there was more boss fights is one of my biggest complaints.
As I said, when did you do that? Because I did it once with like the tutorial one. The first
I did it pretty often.
Yeah, I did too. But one thing that frustrated me is like there's one enemy that I needed to get, because there was a quest for it. I had to record them. And when you fuse, you can't record anymore. So I was about to record and I hit the wrong thing, and I did the fusion instead, and I couldn't record anymore. So then I had to kind of go back to the area.
The
I
fusion,
tried to.
The fusion button turns into a split button.
Oh.
How did you guys
I tried
get
to swap
hearts?
the cassette, but I didn't actually see the switch button.
Yeah.
So that's my mistake.
So-
It wasn't a big deal. I just went back later on and did it.
So, Keith, I'm guessing you walked around with the partner Eugene a lot.
I think so.
Well, that's your problem. So,
Eugene suck?
yeah.
No, I shouldn't say that. We have a listener, Eugene. No, that sounds terrible. Eugene, no, that's not the Eugene, the character in Cassette Beast. That is who I'm talking about.
Wow.
But so yeah, you start with Kaylee, and when you get to a heart level with her pretty quick, you confuse with her.
Yeah.
So to get a heart with your partners, you have to do their specific quest, and Eugene's quest is to take out the landowners' bases, which I'm up to like 4, and I still don't have a heart with him. So he is like really hard to do his mission to like start gaining a heart level with. But like literally every other person I have, Melissa and I forget the other guy's name. I think it was like Richard or something like that. I already have a heart with them, and I just got them. So yeah, it's hard just to do Eugene's mission because his mission spans the entire island. So unless you really want to explore the entire island, yeah, you're just not going to get a heart with Eugene.
Well, I don't know. I still feel. Was it Felix? The
Oh yeah, I
artist,
think that was his
the
name. Yeah,
Joke
Felix, that's his
guy?
name. Yeah.
Like I used him for a while too, because once I got him, I just switched over. Like I was just kind of switching to whoever, I don't know, I met as I went along. But yeah, I did. But I guess I think I only did 2 of his altars, or of the altars of his character there.
Oh,
His mission. So maybe that's why I didn't get a heart with him. But still, I only had a heart with Kaylee, and so I only did the fusion one time, because as soon as you do that, you get forced done to Eugene, and then I just went from Eugene to Felix, and that's where I ended my play.
wait, so you never got Melissa?
Nope.
So you never went to the mall?
Nope.
Oh, that's weird. I didn't get Felix like for a while. Like I got Melissa a lot quicker.
I have no idea. This is, and I think it's like you were saying, the non-linear aspect of it. I wandered so much of this map.
Yeah.
There was a lot of quests going on at once.
Yeah.
Even main mission quests, I feel like.
And so that, you bring up one of my other gripes, Libs. Thank you for reminding me. Is I hated the HUD for tracking quests and rumors, and you could only have one at a time, and you had to go into the menu, and you had to. It was very clunky unless you knew where you needed to go for things, and that was one of the things that I think not annoyed me, but like
I think it was
slowed
bad,
my enjoyment.
but it could have been better.
Yeah,
Because you can only track one quest. I wish you could, have more quests up.
Yeah, or just like kind of like all of them basically, and just like as you get closer. And it is a very small map, but it's also kind of weird to navigate in comparison to what you see on the mini map, because it doesn't show you a lot of the ledges very well, I don't think. But
see, my biggest complaint is the fast travel. The fast travel is not that good in this game. You, as Keith was saying, there's like these underground train stations you find, and unlocking a train station is a fast travel point. I was expecting the campsites to be fast travel points. But yeah, I found this map to be pretty big, because even though it's like, oh, it's only 1 square away, but like you may have to navigate this long path just to get to like the next area. And so I thought the lack of fast travel was kind of frustrating.
Yeah, and also there were some things that I couldn't tell if I'd be able to jump to it, or like, so I kind of wish that the jump was better. Like at least that I would know, because sometimes I just thought that I was landing it wrong. So I didn't really like that. I'm assuming you get like a better jump and glide.
Yeah, every time you beat a boss, your glide gets better.
Yeah,
But I liked that depending on what cassette beast you get, there's some out there that actually will give you a new ability to navigate the world. So as we said, there's one that'll give you wings so you can start to glide. There's a Bulletini, which is literally a bullet character that you get the ability to do like a faster dash that can break rocks. You get the ability to, be magnetized and attract yourself to electric items. I really enjoyed kind of the navigation of this game. I thought it was really interesting of like capturing a certain cassette beast, and it's like, oh, you got a new ability. You can now swim. It's like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it was like a little bit Metroidvania in that aspect. But I liked, and that was like, I was just complaining about the quests, and I liked that they had the rumors, because that's how you kind of knew, like, okay, this is where I'm going to find it. And as soon as you saw the character, it was pretty evident on what you needed to do. or that they were the right one. At least like the bullet one was pretty easy. Like that's a guy I need, or that's a character I need. But yeah, I liked the rumor aspect of it. I wish I could have tracked them better, because I felt like I would go into an area that maybe had 2 or 3 things I needed to do. Like, wait, where is that again? Let me switch. Am I close to this one? Am I close to that one? I have to switch, X the menu, switch again. Like it just didn't have a very smooth gameplay. But outside of that, I think it was very manageable, and it was fun.
I actually, I kind of enjoyed. So as I said, there's like gym leaders that you kind of got to fight. They're called ranger captains. I actually kind of enjoyed them. A lot of the times, I just by accident stumbled upon them. I'm just exploring the world, and it's just like, hey, I'm a ranger captain.
Yeah.
And I actually thought they were kind of fun. But
I only fought 2.
You only fought 2? There's 12.
Yeah.
I feel like you're really close to where I'm at. I've beaten, I think, 6 or 7.
Dang.
I think 7 now.
I've probably just gotten close to different areas of them, and then like I fast travel back because I'm just like don't feel like running back to a campsite, and I just fast travel, and then I have to run all the way back there, and it's a whole thing.
What was your guys' favorite characters? Do you have a favorite beast?
I liked my he turned into Spitfire. He turned into Pom Bomb.
Oh, Pom Bomb, yeah, and Spitfire.
Yeah, I liked them a lot, and actually the one from Kaylee, she turned into Decibel.
Oh, I did not. Sirenade and then Decibel. Yeah, I didn't care for that one.
I only liked her because she was strong. She hit like a truck. Like just about any move I put on her, I felt like.
I liked Eugene's because when he gets evolved, I can't remember his name, but he turns into like a Robin Hood robot.
The robot was cool.
The echolocation ability where all his abilities will target all of the enemies. I actually really enjoyed him, but my favorite, I really liked Melissa's starter character, which first was, I think it was called like Telecat, and then it turns into Cat 5. The Cat 5 form is really good. I loved its abilities.
I don't really have a favorite character based on abilities. I like the one, it's when he's upgraded. He has a trench coat, just like his stance and the way that he carries himself.
Which one? There's one that's like Jack the Ripper. Or there was
like
Snoopin'.
the beginning one. He had like the chomp.
Spring Heel, and then it evolved into I think Rip Terra was its name.
Maybe. I think it was one of the beginner ones, so I think it might have been that one. But yeah, just like the way that he had like his coat up and stuff, and I
always got funny. The vibe that he was like a flasher. I think I think his design was more meant to be Jack the Ripper because his name was like Rip Terra. But I was always like, I don't know. Whenever I see someone with one of those like trench coat, I'm always just like, it's a flasher.
I can't unsee that now.
You're welcome. I ruined your favorite character.
Oh yeah, Velocirifle was cool.
I guess that's the only reason you probably couldn't make a kid show out of this game. You have one character that's a bullet, and then you have Velocirifle, and then it evolves into I think it's like Rex Artillery or something like that, something along those lines.
Yeah, I don't know. But then you also have Lobstacle and Traffic Crab, who has maybe the traffic jam move cracked me up just about every time.
Yeah.
And I liked it too because it slows down everybody, not just the enemies. It slows down your team. It slows down everyone. This is just inconvenient for everybody.
Yeah. I like Puppercut, and then it turns into Southpaw. I saw
Southpaw, yeah.
How do you remember all these names?
I said, I'm up to like 12 hours because I actually really liked the character designs of the names, as I said. With Pokemon, like I've actually been a little more disappointed with like the newer generation. Some of them are very cool, but some of them I felt like were just so lazy. It's like, it's an ice cream cone. We put eyes on it, and its name is Ice Creamy. It's like, come on.
Icy Cream.
And it's just like, that's literally lazy. Like, some of them are just like, I feel like they really just were like, let's just put something out. It's a cloud, and now it has eyes. It's cloudy. It's like, okay. I know I'm obviously exaggerating a bit here, but I thought every one of the creatures here on Cassette Beast was actually really clever.
Also, was there like some AI generation to these characters then? If they have that many fusions, and
I don't know.
Or did somebody hand draw every single one of these?
I did not research the creation of this game. I kind of wish I did though, because I've seen people do like AI generated Pokemon, and like a lot of them are very cool. Like it even generates a name for them, and like I've seen them, and I'm like, these legitimately could be like Pokemon. Like these are way cooler than some of the ones they come up with. So it is very possible.
I just feel like this game has like so many little details. I have a feeling that they they created them all themselves.
I feel like so too.
It would seem that way, but I mean, like you said, 100. If in theory all 121 fusions can fuse, and it's like 140,000 or whatever. Like,
that's a good point. Yeah,
it just
to
how
come
do
up
you
with the fusions is hard.
And I mean, to a certain degree, I don't want to say it's easy, but you are taking two set characters and combining them. So like you already have a set to what you wanted to build, I guess. But that's still 144,000 ideas to come up with. That's still incredible. And I'm not saying that they didn't. Well, I'm not. Andrew said something along those lines, and I think you do. I think it's like 121 times 120 times 100. Like it's like a whole big thing.
Yeah, because you can fuse two of the same into one.
Yeah, it's like I don't remember the math on how to do that. It's been very many years, but there is a way to figure that out very easily. But all that to say is that I don't know. I think that if they hand designed it, that's incredible. If it's a bit AI generated, still also really cool.
Because also too, you're also helping me segue into a point. I already did see on their Twitter that they're coming out with free DLC. They just announced they're coming out with a new coastal area. And there's at least one new Cassette Beast there announced. So that one new Cassette Beast, then do they have to design what it fuses into all the other 120 other Cassette Beasts that they already created?
That's one Cassette Beast that might evolve 3 different times.
Yeah.
So that's another like 300 some odd probably. But it's like, yeah. And I think overall is that while like the beasts themselves are, and I only saw 2 of the Archangels, I thought it was really cool how the first one was like staticky radio, but then the second one went to like a weird stop motion. I don't know if we fought the same.
How did you only fight 2? This is so weird to me. If like I feel like you're the exact close to where I'm at, and you've only fought 2 Archangels.
Yeah, I
think 5.
I think there's just weird puzzles that I was just like, I don't know, I can't figure that out right now, and I just skipped it and I went on. And it's probably so much of my issue with the game now that we're talking about it, because I feel like I've done nothing, and I've put in, I don't know, I 7-10 hours at least. I feel like so I think that's kind of my gripe is maybe just my own demise. But I at least I'm assuming as you go through the different Archangels that you see like different animation styles to a certain degree or different looks to them. And I think that because they weren't even the same as your Cassette Beast. It was just like a completely different style to it. And I don't know, that made it really cool.
Yeah, I fought one that was a puppeteer. One's called...
the puppeteer one. That's what I'm thinking of.
One's called a hecahedron. And it's like a fourth dimensional like cube that it like evolves in different shapes. I fought one that was a serpent god. The designs of them were really cool. But yeah, it kind of creates like this game is very pixelated, but yeah, it goes into a more 3D generated graphic when you fight these Archangel creatures, which are really cool.
I had a random question. I wanted to know if there's more kind of like resource or building quests, because towards the beginning you have to give the guy like 300 wood.
Yeah.
Were there more?
Nope.
Because, I mean, you're collecting a lot of resources, but there's also a lot of shopping you can do. So I was curious. I was like, I don't know if I should be saving some of this, but... Yeah,
I was really disappointed in that. Like, when you're going around, you're seeing some kind of destroyed buildings. You know, the town you're in is called Harbor Town. It's a mishmash of kind of building parts that this city was built upon. I was hoping that this game would have building aspects of, like, you giving supplies to the town and it starts to grow and look better and stuff like that. Yeah, the currency is interesting in this game because, you know, since this is a dumping ground of a world, there's no currency. So instead you're collecting plastic, metal, pulp, wheat, and wood. And these resources are used for currency. So usually when you go to a shop, they want pulp. If you are trying to buy certain cassettes, they want metal, and so on and so forth. So the currency system is interesting, but I was hoping a little bit more. I really wanted there to be more of a building aspect in this game.
What if it had like a cool dark cloud aspect where you got to like decide how to build this town and like putting people next to each other and near each other? Like Liz said, like you end up with a crappy neighbor, but you're the sort of the one who gets to determine all of that, and you can set people for happiness. And
that would be awesome.
Have been how you build your relationships with them is like by setting them up in better housing, and I don't know. That would
be
like
really
that.
Cool.
So we'll put this one out for the developers. Maybe they will listen to us and add that in.
But what they did add in this game, which I applaud, I wasn't crazy about, but there is co-op. Me and Liz actually could not get it to work. but it looks like, as we said, you always have a partner with you. So I looked up online like how it works. From what it sounds like, what you can do on Steam is like the same thing. You just get another controller, and someone controls just the other partner during battle. So is this a type of co-op game I'd play with Liz? No, I think she'd be very bored. Is this a type of game I'd play with a small child? Yeah, I think it would actually be a lot of fun to kind of play with a young one and kind of have them join you and doing the battle system. But there is no PvP at the moment. I do believe the developer said they plan on adding that, but yeah, you're not taking this online and playing your friends. Which also reminds me, another thing that I actually really enjoyed about Cassette Beast was the leveling system. So usually in Pokemon, you are leveling each Pokemon individually, but as I said, you are playing your character and just transforming these beasts. So you are actually leveling up your person. So if you're a level 20 and you're like, hey, I really want to get this new Cassette Beast, and instead of it starting out at like level 1, it's just whatever your character is. So it's already a level 20 character. But you are also leveling up your tapes from level 1 to 5 hearts. So it's just like this heart system. And once they get to level 5, that's when they evolve. So it was like really simple to be able to switch out your Cassette Beast and not feel underpowered. You don't have to go, I got to go to this low level area and grind out and do a bunch of battles just to get this creature to a decent level to where I'm at now. Nope, don't have to do that. And I really, really appreciated that.
Were you able to put stickers on it, like, regardless of that? Because that's, again, something I never tried. Because when I would put out, like, a new beast, you would only have, like, 2 moves for them. But could you just add a bunch of stickers of other moves to it?
Yep. The only caveat when it comes to adding moves and stickers is it has to be the same type. So you can't put, like, a poison on a frost creature. But,
right.
Yeah, but if you have frost stickers, you could put it on a frost beast.
Okay. I just assumed that I was limited even to adding stickers to them unless they, like, unlocked those levels.
Yeah. No, you can do it freely. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. But of course, with this game being called Cassette Beasts, obviously music's a big component to this game. What did you guys think of the music?
Well, I wanted to ask you about the song in the cafe because I feel like I was there quite a bit, and it is the one song.
Yeah.
I feel like it would have irritated you, but I'm not sure.
It started to get a little bit old.
It's weird. I like their pick for the game, though.
Yeah, it's a female acoustic, like, indie song, like, singer. I had her up. I think her name's...
Yeah, I actually pulled it up on Spotify. I think they have less than, like, 5,000 followers.
Well, it's weird. So I pulled it up on Spotify, and I've seen there's a couple... I don't think there's an actual official playlist, because I saw multiple playlists on Spotify saying original soundtrack. And it's like, well, how is there like 3 different original soundtracks?
Well, and you can't play them because they're all just uploaded tracks.
Yeah. But Joel Bayless is like, I guess, the main artist. But there's obviously a bunch of other songs. But I did not start hearing other songs. Like I said, I'm like 10 hours in the game, and I'm starting to get some other songs.
But I like the, not music, but like the noises in the sewer. Like, I guess it's kind of music. Yeah. But the vibe was definitely kind of like eerie. I think that they did a good job.
The subway, you mean?
Yeah. So I definitely think that they did a good job. But it is weird that it's called Cassette Beast, and music-wise, like, there really isn't... It's not a crazy musical game.
No, it's not. But what I liked about it, so the battle music, once again, it got very repetitive, but it's actually just the instrumental version of a song. And once you fuse your beast... Then the same song is playing, but then there's like lyrics added to it. And I actually really like that like component of like, I'm hearing the same song over and over again, but then you fuse and the song itself even kind of evolves and got more interesting. But yeah, there is just like 2 or 3 songs that you're hearing a lot of. But one thing I did appreciate though, as Liz said, you're hearing that same song every time you're entering the cafe. Anytime you're in Harbor Town, the main town, and every time you're going into a building is when the lyrics kick in. And you can actually go to options and just turn off vocals completely. So if you got annoyed with the lyrics constantly coming in and out, you could actually just turn it off, which I thought was a nice touch.
And it is, because it's a little much. And because I genuinely liked it. Like, I actually went and I pulled the song up on Spotify and I was listening to it. I actually think it's a good song. But it's done
no butt
very...
rock.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's my style of music. I don't know. I like... Yeah. Indie acoustic stuff like that, so I enjoy it as a whole. But the first time it comes on, it is so jarring because it's the very first time you come into Harbor Town. It's after your, big battle or whatever. Your character passes out and you wake up in bed and you're interacting and it's very emotional. Yeah. And it's like, it felt like I was at the very end of the game. And I'm like waiting for credits to roll because they're like, oh, we thought they were going to lose you. And it's this like big sappy love song about, we're always going to have each other forever. And I'm like, we barely know each other. We just fused apparently. And that's a thing that we're just doing now.
Which the dialogue after you fuse is also kind of a little weird.
They make it very innuendo-ish.
Yeah.
The fusing, and I think that's done intentionally. Whatever. It's this big emotional song. I was like, boy, it's weird. But outside of that, I liked it. I thought they could have done better with pushing it in that quickly. But I like that you can turn off the vocals. That is a nice touch.
Yeah. One thing that was kind of annoying, I know you guys complained about it, but it really irritated me in this game, was when you talk to people, they don't. It's mostly text-based, but every once in a while you get an audio of someone saying like, hey, yeah.
I was going to bring that up because I don't like that.
I know. And like, what was annoying me is Kaylee, the first person you meet, apparently is supposed to be very heavy Irish. And I would not get that. It's like, because whenever she talks, it's very not Irish. I mean, but like I said, it's not really talking. It's mostly, hey, yeah, and stuff like that, like I said. But then when I noticed her texts were saying like, I miss my da. And I'm like, oh, like that's like the Irish version of saying dad. And then eventually she kept talking. I'm like, oh, she's from Ireland. And I'm like, okay, would not have picked that up. I don't know if it's just because we're supposed to pick it up because she has a beret. Like, oh, yeah, she's clearly Irish.
I would have thought French for sure. But I feel like I picked up a little bit on her accent. The one where it was weird is there's like a dialogue I walked in on between, I think, Eugene and Kaylee. And it sounds like, I think she's yelling at him about like not taking the whole Ranger thing seriously. And he's just like, yeah, whatever. But she's like laughing in the audio dialogue. So I'm like, are they joke fighting? Are they really fighting? I don't really know. So I just skipped through the dialogue and carried on with my life.
As far as the achievements go, though, for Cassette Beast, not bad. If you're an achievement hunter and you want to play through this entire game, I think you will get a majority of the achievements. You're looking, though, for gameplay time, you're looking between 17 hours to 23 hours. So this game's pretty hefty, but since, this isn't Pokemon, there's not like Cassette Beast Red and Cassette Beast Blue. So you can get all the Cassette Beasts just playing this game. I didn't find it too hard to find most of the Cassette Beasts. Like, I am up to, I think, 74 or 75 out of the 120. But wow. Yeah, so it's not great overall for gamer score, but if you are like me and you are a big Microsoft Rewards point hunter and you want to get that daily achievement Microsoft Rewards point, this game is great. Because there's a lot of times when you're catching a Cassette Beast, just about anything you're doing, there's 100 achievements. So a lot of them are worth like 5 gamer score. So if you're just looking for an easy, just to get a gamer score, just to get your daily achievement, this is a great game for it.
Yeah, Andrew, you have 315 with a total of 40 achievements. Keith, you're at 205 with 25 achievements. And I'm in last with 125 and 16 achievements. So yeah, it is pretty low.
Yeah, you put in the work this week, didn't you?
Wow. Do you know what I actually did? I didn't want to play it because I wasn't enjoying it. And struggling. I still got to the hour mark that I needed to get to. So
proud of you.
It does seem to like kind of trickle them in for you though. Like if you're not worried about the score of it, but you like the like reward aspect of it, it is fun for that or the reward thing too, I guess. But 16 achievements in 5-6 hours, that's actually not bad. But from a numbers perspective,
I don't think I saw any were missable.
That's good
because I don't. It doesn't. This game doesn't. It irritates me. This game once again has the fake options of you choosing dialogue, but they always were like, "Do you want to say no or no way?" And it's just like, okay, what's the point of this? Just continue the dialogue. Like, don't give me like a fake option of dialogue.
I was hoping there'd be like a nice and a mean option.
No,
but it wasn't. It was the same.
But yeah. So let's get into our final thoughts here. For me, like I said, I enjoyed Cassette Beast. I grew up on Pokemon. I always enjoy, a good monster catching game. I didn't think this game, really changed drastically when it came to the combat, but I really liked the world. I really enjoyed the story. I really wanted to know more about what was going on. I wish, there was more town building aspects. I do like your partners that you're taking with you out in the field, but I didn't really feel like I was building a relationship with these people. Anytime you went to a camp and rested for the night, there was a quick dialogue. They were kind of interesting to learn about these characters and what was different in their universes that they came from. But I would have really liked more story. I really would have enjoyed more cutscenes. I feel like I'm taking a page out of Liz's book. I would have loved this as a TV show. But I enjoyed my time with Cassette Beast. So that was a lot of fun. I'm gonna give it a 78. I got a little sick of the music and the combat. Like I said, I got a little confused with what was an advantage and disadvantage, but I really enjoyed the monsters in the story.
So I also like Cassette Beasts. I also grew up a lot on Pokemon. Not as much. I didn't stick with it, but I've always had a soft spot. I think actually I will say I remember I bought my nephew's DS Lite probably about 10 years ago off of him just to buy a used Pokemon game, and I played a crap load of hours of that one. I think it was Crystal, maybe. Anyway, I've always liked them. I think it's a fun concept of a game. I like the idea of just all these different characters essentially, or a lot of the moves may be the same, but it's just unique in so many aspects, and I like that. I think I really missed the mark, not on my playtime this week, just on my ability to do the game, because I wish I could have delved into all of the fusions and stuff, because I think that is a fun aspect of what the characters are in this game. But overall, I kind of was the same. I don't know, I was a little bored, but I think maybe I just was going the wrong way. I don't know. All that to say, it's nothing that was gonna be the next great thing, but it is a ton of fun. And if you're looking for a game of just a little fun RPG, open world type of game, absolutely worth a playthrough, or at least some playtime. It's a fun pick up and play when you don't know what else to play, I think, to a certain degree. But I actually was thinking the exact same story as Andrew, so all of those words to say, 78.
I'm gonna give it a 75. I definitely didn't dislike the game, but I didn't want to play it. I was kind of bored, but there's aspects that I liked. I think I also just when it comes to the catching games, I haven't played a lot of them. Not really my favorite type of game. So even if this was actual Pokemon, I don't like the whole catching process. Even with Pokemon Go, just there's something about it. Just I don't know. But looking at Metacritic, for Xbox One, TBD, and Series X, critics are TBD, and right now it's at 9.5 for users. There's not a lot though. Wow. But yeah, a lot of love for this game already.
Must have a really good French translation.
All right. So that's going to do it for your review of Cassette Beast. If you have any game recommendations, please go to GamePassGrabBag.com, where you'll find all our links. You can email us or reach us to us any way you want for any game recommendations that you want us to check out. And thank you all who have participated in our Spotify poll. I did a poll on our Game Pass showcase. I asked everyone, what did you all think of the the Xbox showcase? And yeah, we had a good response. I also feel like I need to stop writing things when I'm at work, because I work third shift, and after working a 12-hour shift and it's 6 a.m, I think I'm hilarious. So I wrote, what would you give the Xbox showcase? A, B, C, D, or a banana? I don't know why I thought a banana was hilarious, but surprisingly, 40% said A, 25% said B, 5% gave it a C, 5% gave it a D, and 25% gave it a banana. I thought it was funny because a banana is kind of left up to interpretation.
I was just going to say that. I mean, were you craving something sweet?
Yeah,
did you
they
need
do a
some
good
potassium?
job that you reward up a banana? Or you said, did they do so bad that you throw a banana at them?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I forgot I did say that.
But I always do think it's funny. Sometimes I'll tweet something and it's 6 a.m. and I've just worked a 12-hour shift and I'm sleep deprivation. I'm like, this is funny. Then I take a nap and I'm like, that wasn't funny.
I loved it.
It answers so many of the questions that I have when I wake up in the morning, but
Because yeah, it's the same with like our text group. I'll send something to the text group, and I'm like, this is hilarious, and no one else thinks it's funny. It's just because I'm tired.
Oh, well, that's the story of my life. But yeah, I wake up and I just see things liked on Twitter. I'm like, what is? I don't know what that is. Anyways, I'm going back to bed.
But yeah, so thank you all so much for participating in our Spotify polls and leaving us a Spotify review. Greatly appreciate it. I've been your hardcore gamer host, Andrew. You can find me on Xbox Live at Firebird01952. Take it away, Keith.
Is it too late to ask? Is it Pokemon or Pokemon? Because I don't think Pokemon is wrong, but I think it's Pokemon.
I don't know.
At the end of the song, do they say Pokemon?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, and that's the
I say both. I think.
Yeah. I don't know. That was just my parting thought.
I think it's one of those things of like, it's Pirates of the Caribbean. Or no, it's Pirates of the Caribbean, but it's Caribbean. That's how you actually pronounce it.
Well, see, because I always saw it more as like my mom being like, "You kids and your Pokemons," versus everyone else saying Pokemon.
Well, you said it like with the differences with your mom. They always make it plural. Your Pokemons. It's never Pokemon.
Your Pokemons and your Goes. Get out of here.
Good outro, Keith.
And I'm Liz the Noob, gamertag, comment on Dean, and I'm on Twitter at Liz the Noob, NoobBusyW, same with Instagram.
All right, everyone. Thank you all so much for joining us. We love you all. We'll see you again next week.
Bye, guys.
Bye.